Now for circulation, we've already said they have a closed circulatory system, and they have blood vessels that carry blood, and it has oxygen carrying hemoglobin. You can see here the dorsal blood vessel and the ventral blood vessel in the red, and you can see at the front of that, anterior to that, you have these hearts or aortic arches that function to pump the blood through the circulatory system, and they encircle the esophagus. That dorsal blood vessel carries the blood toward the front of the worm. The ventral vessel carries it in the opposite directions, and they're connected to each other by a vascular sinus and by lateral vessels and capillaries in their body walls. The nervous system, you have a nerve cord, and you've got lateral nerves that come in contact with each segment. You can see there a rudimentary brain. Those nerves will unite to form a single body for functions like locomotion. And when they grow, a lot of them will replicate the individual segments, and others will, the number of segments is fixed at birth. They have a combination of sensory organs, tactile for touch, chemoreceptors for chemicals, balance receptors, photoreceptors for light, and some of them have some pretty well developed eyes with lenses. They don't have an endocrine or exocrine system, and for excretion they have a pair of nephridia in each metamere, and that's how they excrete their waste. And you can see here some pictures of what they excrete, their fecal cast. They have no immune system, and for reproduction they can reproduce both sexually and asexually. Now, asexual reproduction is just fission, where the posterior part of the body breaks off and they make a new worm. But the position of the break has a lot to do with it. In earthworms, Lumbrilicus, they reproduce by the penis breaking into fragments. And that's pretty highly organized. Many others cannot reproduce that way. But they can regrow amputated segments, just small areas. Now, sexual reproduction helps them better adapt to their environment. Some of them are hermaphroditic, others have distinct species. The polychaetes are gonochoristic. They have separate males and separate females, and their fertilization is external. But earthworms and your oligochaetes, as well as leeches, they're hermaphroditic, and they mate periodically throughout the year when the conditions are good. And two worms that are attracted by each other's secretions will lay their bodies together with their heads pointing in opposite directions, and the fluid then is transferred from the male pore to the other worm. They can have this transference of the sperm by internal spermatocy or spermatochae, which are sperm storing stages, chambers, my tongue is tangled, or by spermatophores, which are on the outside of the body. Their clitella will develop a little cocoon, or this little fluid-filled cocoon is developed in embryonic worms, and then the clitellum secretes it. Their defense, some of them are parasitic, and they are very important detritivores, and they also help with soil aeration because they burrow in the soil, and that's a good thing.